delta hedging. Welcome back. You now know what delta means, what the delta profile looks like as spot prices move, and where to find it on an options chain. Now we can move on and talk about delta hedging. And that's a big part of what many options traders and options market participants do, especially market makers and liquidity providers such as dealers and banks. They don't just trade an option and leave the delta exposure as it is. They often trade stock against it to hedge the delta exposure. And in this section, we are going to talk about what that means. When an options or volatility trader buys or sells options, they will tend to flatten the delta initially or neutralize it by either buying or selling shares in the correct amount. The P&L of the shares position will perfectly offset the part of the options P&L that is due to the move in the stock price in either direction. The result of this hedging is that the trader will no longer be exposed to the directional move in the stock, but rather the other Greeks, which are more related to the stock's volatility, such as gamma, theta, and vega, which we'll talk about in future videos. The direction of the move no longer matters to the trader, but it is the magnitude of the move that they care about. From a vol trader's perspective, if we ignore interest rates and dividends, which we can for short-dated options, there is no difference in trading a call or a put if they are the same strike and maturity once they are delta hedged. The volatility-related Greeks will be the same. For example, if a trader is long 100 at the money call options on a stock that trades at $100 per share. Remember, each option is the right to buy 100 shares. That is what we call the multiplier, 100. And that is what you get for all listed options in the US. It's standardized so that the multiplier is 100. So 100 options would be the right to buy 100 times 100, which is 10,000 shares. Now, to calculate the notional of that position, we would take 100, the number of options, times by the multiplier of 100, times by the stock price of $100, and that equals $1 million notional. Now, we know the option is an at-the-money call, so the delta will be 0.5 or 50%. So to delta hedge 100 options, the trader would need to sell 100 times by the multiplier times by the delta this time, 0.5, which would be 5,000 shares. The reason we are selling those shares is because the option is a call option, which is a positive delta. And to hedge that, we need to sell shares because that will act in the opposite direction as the delta of the option. Now, if you went ahead and sold those shares, your option would be delta hedged or delta neutral. If you want to see what the notional is of your delta hedge, well, that's just 5,000 shares multiplied by the stock price of 100, which is $500,000 notional, which is exactly 0.5 times the notional of the option, which was $1 million. Similarly, for a long position in an at-the-money put, the delta hedge would be to buy shares as the options delta is negative. Remember, the point of a hedge is to act in the opposing direction to the options delta. A put option would have a negative 50% delta, so we would need to calculate the correct amount of shares to buy in this case. In the next couple of videos, we will do a detailed walkthrough of the delta hedging of a call and a put as the market moves around.